Hello, everyone. It is currently November 6th, 2025, and we're going to be talking about the potential for strong to severe storms in the Middle Tennessee region come tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. We primarily cover Overton, Clay, and Jackson counties. However, if you're watching this video from another area, that is perfectly okay, and we're going to be covering the entire region pretty much. Potential impacts include frequent lightning, heavy rain, and small hail in our window of Friday afternoon into Friday evening. So this is tomorrow, the 7th. I want to make sure everyone has their timing correct. We'll go ahead and look at some different things here, such as the outlooks, starting out with the newest outlook that came out about 30 minutes ago. The only difference between that one and the one you just saw was they shaved off a little bit of the slight risk extending into northern Alabama. Otherwise, it is the same, extending into south central Kentucky and covering middle Tennessee. We have a 2% tornado outlook powering this, along with a 5% severe wind outlook and a 15% severe hail outlook. So as you can see, the outline is the same, and that's the only reason they have a slight risk in this area is because of the hail risk. So that includes us, and we need to be on the lookout for those storms that might be producing some larger hail. Overall, we're going to be looking at a few models here, starting out with the dew points. So the limiting factor, for a big limiting factor, not the only one, is the lack of instability that we are going to have. So I'm going to play this out here, starting with tomorrow during the day. As you can see, here's tomorrow early morning, and we see those dew points rise with the blues. The blues indicate 60 or above dew points, and we need at least upper 50s to get some surface-based storms going. But to get those stronger storms going, we're going to need higher dew points, higher instability. So we have barely sufficient instability to get some of these storms going, and that is why this is such a low-end event, along with a few other things as well. We're going to also look at what the newest radar model is going to have for us tomorrow and what it thinks is going to happen. So currently we're looking at the 12Z HRRR model, which is a good high-resolution model to use for short-term forecasting like we are doing right here. So this is just a guesstimate of what we could see. So we're going into early Friday morning. We are nearing noontime. We could start seeing some storms fire off there in Middle Tennessee. And as we go into the afternoon hours, that is where we could see some of stronger storms start to form. So our window is probably looking to be just after noon for us, particularly in our area, just after sunset. So some of these storms could be strong. The conditional risk here is that if some of these storms can remain discrete, wind profiles will promote supercellular development. So if some of these storms can be discrete and rotate, that's where we get that low-end tornado threat, which is a little conditional. And also with those same strong storms, we will have the potential for some large hail. So that'll be what we need to watch for tomorrow. I will post any big periodic updates as they come in, and I'll post another something in the morning regarding any changes to maybe timing or the overall intensity. As far as chasing, I don't know if I'll be chasing. Regardless if I do or not, I don't have to drive far. So if I do see like an area within 2.5 hours that we could see some elevated tornado potential, I will head that way. So that's enough about Friday. We're going to go ahead and look at going into the weekend where we could see our first hard freeze. So this is really big and honestly a little bit bigger than tomorrow in my opinion as far as significance because it is early November. What we're looking at right here, I know this looks confusing. These are winds from the 300 millibar height, which is what's called the jet stream. The jet stream is responsible for a lot of weather that we deal with, pretty much all weather that we deal with, and it is currently being responsible for bringing a large cold air mass down from Canada. And so because of that, we're going to be dealing with extremely cold temperatures come overnight Sunday into early Monday. As you can see here, this is what temperatures are supposed to be roundabout come Monday morning. 25 degrees below normal, which is incredible, especially for this time of year. Early November, we're getting a crazy freeze. Mid 20s for most of Middle Tennessee come Monday morning, and it's super widespread going across a lot of the central and eastern U.S. Even into the deep south, we could be seeing some frost down there as well, which is super significant. And some models even have some freezing temperatures coming to the Florida Panhandle. Not on this one particularly, but some are hinting at that, so we'll have to see how that evolves. But for our area, we are definitely looking at a freezing situation, and freeze advisories could be issued by the Nashville office in the coming days, so let's be sure to watch that and protect any sensitive vegetation that we might have. Another thing, I don't like to talk about this far out, but since it's our first potential, I say potential, risk for snow, I'm going to talk about it. I think we're 3 days out right now. We're going to look at two different models that are telling two different stories. So this is the GFS model, which is really good for long range and mid range forecasting, and kind of gives us our first picture on what we could see as far as weather goes. Looking at this, we pretty much have no snow. We have 0 snow chances according to this model. I have it set to Monday night, which is after our window of snow potential ends, so it kind of gives us a total of what we could see. And as far as Tennessee goes, we would be limited to snow on the mountains. However, if we look at another long-range model, the European model is what we call it, that changes a lot. So we could be looking at some snow potential. Nothing big, nothing that would shut schools down for a week, but we could see maybe 1/2 to 1 inch of snow in some areas, primarily in the eastern portion of Tennessee, the northeastern portion too. But this model is definitely hinting at the potential for some snow. So that is going to wrap up this video. I'm going to go and pull up that graphic for y'all to look at here. As far as the rest of today goes, beautiful temperatures, beautiful conditions. Take advantage of that. Be outside because starting tomorrow, we're going to have the potential for severe storms, and then going into Sunday night into Monday, we're going to have freezing, well below average temperatures for this time of year. All right, I will talk to you all tomorrow. We'll have another post out in the morning.